Hey, what's going on, everyone? Shout out to everyone who supports the channel. Thank you very much. Don't forget to check out the links in the description and use that promo code to get 15% off your purchase at Activewear. So I want to talk about more Joker stuff. The movie comes out next week, and since it was shown at the Venice Film Festival and the Toronto International Film Festival, and even just due to the trailers, but there has been a lot of criticism and backlash regarding the disturbing violence that's in the film, and people kind of making accusations that they are celebrating this kind of behavior, especially seeing all of the, political things that happen in the United States, especially in recently. And so people are criticizing the very violent behavior that takes place in the movie, saying that this is being celebrated and praised. I have said in previous videos that I don't think that's what the point of this movie is supposed to be. I haven't seen it yet, but if any kind of studio makes a film based on some kind of villainous character, fictional character, whatever, true story, a real person, whatever it is, that doesn't mean that they're celebrating that kind of act or that kind of behavior, and that they're encouraging others to partake in that kind of stuff. I mean, video games, countless other movies come out every day that depict violence and things of that nature. It doesn't mean they're celebrating it. And so anyway, Warner Brothers and Todd Phillips have both commented on this, responding to these criticisms. And so let me read really quick Warner Brothers' official statement. They said, "Neither the fictional character nor the film is an endorsement of real-world violence of any kind. It is not the intention of the filmmakers, or the studio to hold this character up as a hero." And I think that's an important thing that they mentioned there, that just because Joker is a famous and popular comic book character doesn't mean that he's being portrayed as a hero just because they made a solo film for him. So I think that that's an important part of their statement. And Todd Phillips also, in an interview, he mentioned what he thinks about these criticisms. He shared his thoughts on that question as well. The interviewer asks if he understands why people are, concerned or worried going into this movie. She was responding to, I believe she was speaking about families of the victims of the Aurora movie theater shooting that happened several years ago, when people were going to see The Dark Knight, and that people were pretty horrified by the violence in that movie, in the Joker movie, which the public hasn't seen it yet, but obviously we know it's going to be a violent film. And so that's what she's asking about in this clip, and I'll go ahead and put that up so you guys can hear what Todd Phillips had to say about that.
And at least why people might be a little scared going into it?
I mean, I think that, Aurora is obviously a horrible situation, but even that is not something you blame on the movie. And quite frankly, if you do your own research about Aurora, that gentleman wasn't even going in as Joker. That was misreported. His hair was dyed red. He was having obviously a mental breakdown, and there's something horrifying about it, but it wasn't related to it outside of the fact that it happened at a movie theater. But this is not the thing that the movie is trying to represent. This is not the movie still takes place in a fictional world. It can have real world implications, opinions, but it's a fictional character in a fictional world that's been around for 80 years. The one that bugs me more is a toxic white male thing. When you go, oh, I just saw John Wick 3. He's a white male. He kills 300 people, and everybody's laughing and hooting and hollering. Why does this movie get held to different standards? It honestly doesn't make sense to me.
So those are his thoughts. I think he makes some good points in his response to her question. And yes, I'm sure the studio, everyone involved in this movie was concerned about this the whole time making the film. I'm sure it was a conscious, a conscious part of making this movie, that people are obviously going to be concerned about the way they're portraying this character and the things that he does in the movie. But like Todd Phillips mentions, movies such as John Wick, countless other movies are all about, the Punisher, all kinds of, well, he's not really a villain, but just, characters that are similar, white males or male characters that just kind of, their whole movie is about killing people and, massive amounts of violence. And they don't really get the same feedback before they're even out in theaters that this movie is getting. And I am expecting that some parts of this movie might be hard to watch, that I might have to turn away and stop watching for a moment. I expect that to happen, and I'm actually looking forward to this movie. I'm not looking forward to it because I enjoy violence. No. Or like gory things. Those things can be hard for me to watch. I even stopped watching the Walking Dead series a long time ago. I watched a few seasons and then I had to stop watching because it just got to be like too much to handle, seeing it every single episode. And that's on TV, that was very gory, graphic show. And nevertheless, it was extremely popular. And so I am looking forward to it because I love Joaquin Phoenix as an actor. I thought it from the beginning that is very interesting that they're making a villain-centered solo film. And like I said, I'm more interested in like the psychological aspect of it and how he is. We've never seen the Joker portrayed as like a person. He's always the Joker. He's always the villain. We've never seen him portrayed any other way in a live action film. And so that's what's interesting to me about it. I don't get off on seeing people being hurt or killed or anything like that. And so I think that there's other reasons. I don't think the violence is what people are praising for, the positive response that it got at these film festivals. I think it's more the performance of being able to make this character believable, even though he's a fictional character, like Todd Phillips said, in a fictional world. But just the way that they were able to dive in so deep into this character that people don't really know much about, and the angle that they took with it, and shedding a light on this mental, psychological aspect of it. And not to get political, but I am one of those people who hate the mental illness excuse for, violent acts against other people. I don't like that, but I think it's but the movie just seems interesting to me in general. And like I said, I don't really understand why. I'm with Todd Phillips on that. Why don't other movies get that criticism? There's plenty of other movies that could get criticisms for being too violent and for, men who are just, or characters, I guess I should say, who are kind of like getting back at society for the way they've been treated. You know what I mean? So I think that's the issue here. It's not necessarily defending the fact that it's a violent movie, because I definitely know that. Not in any way encouraging any kind of violence whatsoever. But I guess it's just the main issue is that other movies don't really get that criticism. They kind of get more praise for that kind of action. And so I think that's what WB and Todd Phillips are mainly responding to. And again, not trying to portray the Joker as a hero in any way. So that's what Warner Brothers and Todd Phillips had to say about it. Again, everyone is free to have their own opinion, definitely. But I just wanted to share that since Warner Brothers did come out with an official statement to address people's concerns, and Todd Phillips also shared his thoughts on it. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Don't want to cause any kind of division or controversy, just wanted to share that. And I appreciate everyone again who supports the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.